Hello everyone, welcome again in Eng-Man YouTube channel. So again, we will continue our decline curve analysis series. And today's topic, we will address factors influencing decline analysis. All right, so I take this table, these very useful indicators from this book, Advanced Production Decline Analysis and Application. All right, this is a very good book. And this table is about factors influencing production decline, and thus it will influence the decline in analysis. Okay, so we have some parameters here: pressure, flow rate, well completion, and some other parameters, and some issues related to those factors or related to those parameters, and whether they have high influence, moderate, very high, or what. Okay, so let's check them one by one. We start from pressure. So let's say you want to perform decline curve analysis or any other type of decline analysis. If you don't have pressure measurement, no pressure measurement, it will highly influence your conclusion. So be careful. But yeah, honestly, many engineers perform decline analysis with, lack of reservoir pressure. And maybe they just ignore the change in reservoir pressure, and that's actually not correct. No pressure measurement will highly affect your conclusion, your analysis. Okay? And if you have incorrect initial reservoir pressure estimate, it will also highly impact your analysis. So now, from now on, make sure that the reservoir pressure is a very important, it's a very integrated part of your analysis. And then if you have poor conversion from tubing head pressure to bottom hole pressure, PTF to PWF, it will impact, but the influence is just moderate. And even if you have liquid loading, and it will also influence the PTF and PWF difference, it will impact, but it will give moderate impact. But again, pressure measurement is very important. And here you need to be careful. If you have incorrect location of pressure measurement, then it will highly influence the decline analysis, because now you will have wrong conclusion, right? Because the pressure measurement is very influenced by hydrostatic pressure, and hydrostatic pressure is very related to the position of your pressure measurement, whether it is right at the sand face depth or at the somewhere inside your tubing. Okay, you need to make sure that you have the correct location so that you can extrapolate the pressure from the point, from the depth of measurement down to the sand face depth. Okay, and then now flow rate allocations. So it's a very, normal thing to do, normal thing to have. We have some problems with rate allocations, which has, potential for errors. It will moderately affect your analysis. Again, liquid loading, which will affect the gas flow rate measurement. It will also disturb your analysis moderately. Now we have also another very high influence. If you are dealing with zone changes, new and old perforations, be careful. All right, because if you change the perforation, change the zone, now you cannot consider those two different zones as from the same reservoir. Okay, of course, if you consider a new zone and you consider that as the old reservoir, you're wrong basically. Okay, and the decline analysis is basically wrong. So zone changes is a very important critical thing to assess if you perform decline curve analysis. make sure you are analyzing the production decline of the wells from the same reservoir, from the same zone. Okay. Changes in wellbore tubular, it will highly influence the decline analysis. It will highly influence the production and maybe the productivity. Okay. Changes in surface equipment can be moderate, can be high. Okay. But the simplest thing to do is make sure that whenever you perform decline analysis, you have no change in your wellbore, even in your operation, in your wellhead condition, the frequency of your ESP, the gas injection rate for your gas lift, the stroke length and the stroke per minute for your sucker rod pump. No change, please, whenever you perform decline curve analysis. And then stimulation, if you have stimulation, whether using hydraulic fracturing or acidizing, it will highly influence the productivity, and thus it will highly influence the decline analysis. Okay. Again, make sure that you perform decline analysis within the stable conditions. Stable condition for your wellbore, surface equipment, operation, and the productivity of the reservoir. And then, yeah, that's pertaining to the well completion. Now the general reservoir properties, moderate. Okay, so if you are not so sure about the porosity of your reservoir, if you're not so sure about the permeability, it indeed will influence the decline, but it's not so severe, basically. Okay, oil properties and gas properties, interestingly, give you moderate impact. Okay, but be careful, moderate is not low impact, it's moderate. All right, and you basically you want to avoid even those moderate influences. Okay, because of course you want to get a correct and accurate forecast, right? So basically we need to avoid all of these issues. And then poor time pressure rate synchronization can be moderate, can be high, but if you have poor time pressure rate correlation, of course it will give you very high disturbance, very high influence on your decline analysis. So basically, if you have poor time pressure rate correlation, it's like you have, unstable operation. All right. The operation will change your pressure, but you do not record this. You don't know the time and you don't know the influence on your pressure. Basically, you put everything in wrong place. That's why it will very highly influence your decline analysis. All right, so, decline curve analysis is actually originally very strict. It's a very strict analysis. You need to put some strict assumptions so that decline curve analysis is applicable. But of course, because it's easy, we neglect all those strict assumptions usually. But again, if you want to have a correct decline, if you want to get a correct forecast, then it's the best to avoid all of these disturbance influences issues. Okay, so I think that's all. I hope you enjoy this video. I hope this video is useful. Please like this video if you think this video is important, and see you again in the next decline curve analysis videos. Thank you.